Happy Croc Day, as in the shoes. It's also Slap Your Coworker Day, which I do not recommend. Dwight Yoakam is 69 today, the rockabilly country musician of great renown. Went to Northland High School. He's a good actor, too. He was in Sling Blade, right? He was on a show that my wife liked to watch, The Dome. He was good in that, too. A Renaissance man, Dwight Yoakam from our own Northland High School, 69 years old today. Weird Al is 66. The Pumpkins' Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, the double album, came out 30 years ago today, 19 years ago today. My Chem's Welcome to the Black Parade, I cannot believe that, 19 years already. The first iPod, released 24 years ago today. Remember when Ashley Simpson was caught lip-syncing on SNL? That was 21 years ago today. It's National Horror Movie Day. I'm not a big horror movie guy, but if you really want to get creeped out, my wife and I watched Rosemary's Baby several weeks ago, again, after a long time. That movie holds up. Super freaking creepy, and it's from the late 60s. Reality TV producer chatted with TMZ about her job the other day and told them you'd be surprised how many people do not make the cut for shows like Love Island and Big Brother because they tested positive for STDs. Sam Adams head Jim Koch has announced this year's Utopia Ultra Strong beer comes in at 30% ABV, which has always been his goal. It's so strong it's illegal in 15 states, but legal in Ohio. I'm thinking of Sam Adams. We broadcast from their original brewery in 2001 with a bunch of other radio stations. And Jim Koch would go around at 7 in the morning with his Waterford Crystal Beer Trophy, and he was drinking out of it at 7 in the morning. He also had a hookah, and he would try to get radio hosts to smoke hops with him, which I did not do, and I was told it was pretty vile. I also met the now late Mojo Nixon that weekend because our radio station owner, Randy Malloy, was friends with Mojo. Mojo was doing radio down in Cincinnati, and they met somewhere, and so he called up Mojo. He said, "Hey, we're here. Come on down." So a few minutes later, there's a banging on the door. Of course, it's a really loud bang. I open the door, and standing before me is Mojo Nixon, wearing a sleeveless hickory shirt, cutoffs, and combat boots. He had a fifth of gin in one hand and a 2-liter of Sprite in the other. That is exactly how I thought he would be. He was hilarious and pretty in the cups at that point, and a fun guy. He was everything that you would expect him to be. Mojo Nixon. Rest in peace, sir. Now, that weekend, I may have been wheeled into our nice hotel on a luggage cart at 2 a.m. by Randy. That may or may not have happened. I've already said too much. That was a weekend. Have you heard of Scream Clubs? They're a place you can go and let out a cathartic yell into the void.
Scream Club is an opportunity to come out and be in community with other people and do a breathing exercise and a mindful reset.
I have made some transitions into a new place, and it has not been going as smoothly as I would like it to go. And so I needed to get that out,
I feel really good. It was such a nice release, and I feel like my chest feels better. Like the anxiety kind of goes to my chest usually, and it feels released.
Yes, now that's a scream. In Virginia, they'll be voting on lieutenant governor soon. There was a debate this week, but the Democratic candidate declined to participate. So Republican John Reed debated an AI version of his opponent, Ghazala Hashemi.
Would you be in favor of reinstating the EV mandate, yes or no, and why or why not? Senator Hashmi?
Wholeheartedly support an electric vehicle mandate. The effects of human-caused climate change are happening, and Virginia must address the climate catastrophes that face us.
Mr. Reed, your response?
Yeah, I don't think anybody even understands what environmental justice is, and I do think Virginians understand government mandates.
Bethesda, Maryland, a cautionary tale here. A woman used ChatGPT to create a photo of an intruder laying on her couch. She sent that to her husband as a prank. Well, of course, he thought it was real. Called 911. 8 cruisers responded, police with guns drawn, and they found her sitting alone on her couch. And she said, "Oh, that was just a joke." So now she's been charged with filing a false report, though she did not file it. Baltimore, Maryland, a kid was confronted by police, their guns drawn, over what turned out to be a bag of Doritos.
It was like 8 cop cars that came pulling up to us. At first, I didn't know where they was going until they started walking towards me with guns, talking about, get on the ground. I was like, what? They made me get on my knees and then put my hands behind my back and cuffed me. And then they searched me and they figured out I ain't have nothing. Then they went over there to where I was standing, found the bag of chips on the floor. They said that AI detector or something detected that I had a gun, but I was just holding a Doritos bag.
And that's why he was encountered with guns drawn, taken to the ground, and handcuffed? Good Lord. This was so disappointing to me. I saw this article last night. I go, this can't be real. I'm begging that it is. Someone used AI to generate a story for a parody website whereby a 58-year-old man in Illinois was arrested for impersonating Sammy Hagar in an attempt to defraud 2 banks and a vape shop. So if you see that story, you see his mugshot, which is sort of like a 300-pound version of Sammy Hagar. That's also a fake. Isn't that disappointing? It sure is. This, I'm told, is real. Kam Phung in Thailand. This is about as bonkers as it gets. A 51-year-old man without medical training has admitted to performing penis enlargement procedures in the back of his beat-up 90s-era Toyota Corolla. Apparently, he had advertised his services on social media and for the past year has had clients. Police encountered him on the side of the road in the back seat with another man as he was preparing to add more girth. He told police, quote, "I became interested in this kind of work, so I studied and developed it as a side hustle to supplement my income," end quote. He was charging $300 for the enlargement, and he was also doing $100 circumcisions. Again, in the back of his Corolla. That's unacceptable. Sequim, Washington. Well, this story is pretty bonkers, and it comes from a town just 15 miles from where I grew up. Police say a 69-year-old rideshare driver saw a man walking with a woman and their 7 children near Highway 101 in Sequim. He offered them a ride. They accepted. A few miles later, the man and the woman stabbed Melvin Swaggerty several times, neck, face, chest, and kicked him out of the car. Haggerty was found by the side of the road, and eventually he had to be transported all the way to Seattle for medical treatment. Meanwhile, the couple were found 2 days later, 65 miles away in Port Orchard, Washington. Police say they were passed out with their 7 kids, ages 6 months to 9 years, around them. Those children have been taken in by Children's Services, and mom and dad are in jail. Finally, Tampa, 76-year-old John Moss had a sign on his home that read, "No drugs allowed here." You can guess where this is going. He was charged with drug trafficking the other day. Found in that home 32 ounces of coke, 36 grams of oxy, 442 grams of weed, 6 grams of morphine, and 4 grams of meth. He also had $20,000 in cash and multiple handguns. Not anymore. And that's where we'll leave things on this Thursday. Have a great day, and we'll chat again tomorrow.